Right, fantastic. Is everybody back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, great. I don't know.
Yes, Mithun.
Vasudev, Zarar, Parshuram, Rabi, Vinish,
Yes.
Bhavna. Okay, Tanmay. Tanmay, I have not heard after afternoon, after lunch. Absconding.
In deep sleep.
Okay, let me not disturb him. Okay. Let me come back to this, guys. I hope nobody's. Pavna, I don't know. Pavna is on mute. Is she back? Pavna, you back? She's. Okay, this is what we have, guys, as far as utility scores and such things are concerned, right? Now, one thing here is that these are numbers, correct? Absolute numbers 38, 15, and 17, which are a bit difficult, which might get a bit difficult for people to understand. The marketing team may find it a bit difficult. So we do not give the utility scores as such, but this is how you can generate the satisfaction level and such things obtained by driving a particular vehicle or by using a particular set of characteristics. Right? Any product, you can use the same thing. Multiply the coefficients by the data, you should be able to get the utility scores. Now, these utility scores will have.
Mithun, yeah, are you sharing your screen?
I thought I was sharing my screen.
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay. Now, Parashuram, I don't know.
No, it was minimized actually. I couldn't see it. Now I can see. I clicked on
Okay, okay. So this is your utility scores, guys. Now these utility scores are, the challenge here is basically it's a bit difficult to interpret the utility scores. So what we do is basically we convert these utility scores, right? Convert, right? The way ahead will be conversion of this utility scores to what is called as propensity score or market share. This is an important concept, guys. Utility score is one thing, but eventually you can just basically convert this into a propensity score. It's also sometimes called as a market share. So how do you convert this into a market share? Very simple. Take this utility of a vehicle which is giving you utility of a vehicle with these characteristics: 7-seater, cargo, 3 feet, gas engine. Take that in Excel or in any tool, you can just take that value of U1. U1 is 38. So just pass it through exponential function. Divide it, divide this number by, you know what? You'll have to just pass it through exponential of U1 plus exp of U2 plus exp of U3. Right. So when I say exp of U1, it is nothing but exponential of 38. That should give you some number divided by exponential function of 38 plus exponential of 15 plus exponential of 7. When you do this, you will get a number which will be lying between 0 and 1. Right? It can be 0.7, it can be 0.3, whatever it is. Call this as P1. What is this P1? Nothing. It is just the market share of a vehicle which has these particular characteristics. Out of 100 customers, basically, let's say you get the P1 value of 0.78. I'm just cooking up some number. You have to do the calculation and see. Let's say the P1 value comes up to be 0.78, which means that 78% of the consumers or customers are going to, drive a vehicle or use a vehicle or buy a vehicle with these characteristics, right? So the expected market share for a vehicle with 7 seaters, with 7 seats, whatever, and 3 feet cargo and engine type being gas is around 78%. So this is how you can move very, very carefully from utility score to your propensity scores or market share. Now, just as you wanted to you computed the propensity score for first set of attributes, you can move on to P2. Just that in the numerator, you have to change from utility of 1 to utility of 2. Denominator will be as it is. Now for P2, I don't know, when you do the mathematics behind this, you can get the value to be around 0.15, right? Which means basically a vehicle with the following characteristics. Which are these characteristics? A vehicle which has 8-seater, priced at 35,000, engine being hybrid type, will have a market share of 15%. It will have a market share of 15%. So that's how you can sort of interpret this. Finally, what you can do is basically, I'll just copy paste these two lines, call this as P3. What has happened to this? Call this as P3 exponential of U3 divided by this 78.78.15, and this could be around 7%, which means, sorry, this is 7.07, which means that the market share for a vehicle with these characteristics. First one, please take a look at the first one. The first one, right, with 7-seater, 3 feet cargo, and gas engine will be around 78%. So out of 100, expected market share is 78%. The expected market share for a vehicle with 8 seats, priced at 35,000, engine being hybrid type, is 15%. The expected market share for a vehicle with 7 seats, 3 feet cargo, and priced at 40,000 will be around 7%. So you can see here, basically, we have converted this in between a number between 0 and 1, and summation of PI. When you add up the probabilities, it should always be 1. So no matter how many utilities you have computed properly, you may have 10 different scenarios. Compute the utility score, which is nothing but the satisfaction level. Once you take that satisfaction level, pass it through this exponential function, divided by some of the exponential of each of the utilities, you'll get the propensity score. That propensity score is what we call as market share. So this is how you can get the market share for each set of attributes. This is what I wanted to say, guys. Is this clear? Is this not clear? Is the mathematics behind it clear, guys? Right. I'll just explain this once again. I'll just very quickly at a very high level sort of go back, resume this. I don't know what's wrong with this. I'm showing you my RStudio. mlogit function. Use that mlogit function firstly to generate the coefficients. Right. That's the first thing. Basically, login successful. Okay. Just taking some time to load.
Mithun, one question there regarding the utility value.
Just hold on for 1 second, please. I'll just finish off this point. Just give me 1 second. I don't want to get. I don't want to deviate. Just one moment, please hold on. See, based on this 15-minute session restored from you. Okay. Right. Just to recap, right? We generated the coefficients. Correct. These are the coefficients, right? mlogit function will give you these coefficients. Pick up these coefficients. Just take these coefficients, multiply it by the corresponding data. What you'll be able to get is basically the utility score, right? So for different components, we have calculated the utility score, right? U1, U2, U3. Once you get the utility score, utility score is also called a satisfaction level. As the name itself suggests, how much satisfaction does a consumer get by driving a vehicle with these characteristics? It could be the same thing tomorrow if you're talking about a product like, a sari or a furniture, a piece of furniture or apartment, or it could be a shirt, whatever. If a person wears a Allen Solly shirt which is pink in color and priced at $2,000, whatever it is, what is the satisfaction level that he's getting? So this is how you compute the utility. Take that utility, pass it under an exponential function, divide it by exponential of u1 plus exponential of u2 plus exponential of u3. For the sake of demonstration, I've just stopped it at 3. You can have any number of combinations here, right? Compute the utilities. Once you do this, no matter what you pass inside this number may be very big, but the output will always be lying between 0 and 1. What is this 0 and 1? This is what we call as the market share or the propensity score. This is the expected market share of a vehicle which has certain set of features. Higher the market share, you'll have more confidence to recommend to your consumer, to your marketing team, saying that please boss manufacture these vehicles because these are the ones which are commanding, which are basically getting a high market share. Certain set of attributes. Be very careful about 7-seater, 3 feet cargo, price 40, because the market share will be very less. That's a problem. So these are the insights that you can generate. I think Vasu, you had a question. You can please ask.
No, for the question regarding the utility score, what we found, what we calculated. So that is the value like for seat 7, right? So that is the value, and then it is calculated. Sorry for that question. So here
No,
it's
no, you
like
don't have
for.
to be sorry. No, I mean, no need to be sorry. So for seat 7, when you do a data dot metrics,
Mhm.
you should be able to get the value for seat 7. Then just multiply this.
So it will be in the matrix we get only 0 and 1, right?
Yeah. So if you have seat 7 here, basically, if you have a value here 1, it will be just 0.53 minus 0.53. So that is sufficient for you.
Okay, but here how did we got 38? That is my question.
Where is 38? No, when you take the
U1.
sum product, it can be anything. It can be
Just
0.38 also. I don't.
4.
This is just a number which I am just showing you. It can.
Ah,
I've not done the real mathematics behind it. Just to show you, illustrate, you'll get some number. I don't know what number will come out of it.
okay. Yeah, that was
Just
the
to show
question.
you. That's.
Okay, fine.
Is this clear, guys? Everybody? The concept at a conceptual level, these numbers are just cooked up numbers, which I am cooking up so that you can have a perspective about what is satisfaction level and then what is the market
Yeah.
share.
Mithun, one more doubt. Here you mentioned seat 7 and cargo 3 feet, right? From where the which value is the each row value is taken
Yes,
for
yes, yes. You
each
can take.
for each user?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now, instead of doing all this mathematics wherein I'm just showing you, right? This is in pen and paper. I just showed it to you in an elaborate way. Now, if you go back to the code here, now, if I just could, maybe I should have explained this first and then written this code. But anyway, if you look at this code, that's what it is doing here, right? So this predict.mnl, let me see if the audio is on. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So this function, which is a predict.mnl function, it takes the model, which could be your M3 or M1 or M2, whichever you consider as the champion model. Let's go with M3. That is the model and the fresh data for which you have to estimate the market share and such things. So this is going to take two inputs. You can just specify M1 or M2 or M3 and the new data. Now that data, if you see here, I'm just using the model.matrix. You've already seen it. That will basically give you 1, 0, like that. It will just take the input values, correct? So I'm just suppressing the intercept term. I'm dropping the first variable because it is usually ID and such things. You can please feel free. If you don't have ID and such things, you might want to drop this argument here, right? So here, if you see here, utility is what I want. This is data.model, which is nothing but the fresh data. Percentage star percentage, which basically is nothing but a pipe which is used to multiply with the model coefficients. So when you multiply the coefficients with the data, you'll be generating the utility score. That is the first step. It's the intermediate step. But we are not really so interested in the utility score. We are more interested in the market share. So take this utility, whatever you may get, minus 5, 6, 7, 10, 700, I don't know. Whatever number you get, pass it into this exponential function divided by sum of the exponential of the utilities. You will be obtaining a new object which is called as market share. Eventually, I wanted to basically return market share with the data. For the fresh data for a certain set of attributes, I wanted to return the market share. So that is what this predict.mnl is basically doing. Okay, we have, I think, executed this. Have you all executed this code, guys?
Yes.
So predict.mnl is ready. It will generate just the market share and the data. Okay, let me see what do I have in the code. So guys, do you want this? Do you want this? I'm just pasting this in the chat just in case you want to refer or something. In case you want to refer, you can just use this, or else I'll just close this. I don't want to save this. Okay, now let's come to this, right? So the fresh data I don't have. I'm just cooking up some fresh data in case in a real-time environment you have fresh data and such things. Well and good. If you don't have it, don't worry. We can just generate some data here. Okay, so simulate some data. Let's just generate some data here. Let us see how it comes out. Right, just simulate or synthesize data. Fresh data is what you're generating. So I'm just pasting this code. You can just use the same code, guys. Right, so this is my own data. So let's say a seat, basically there could be these options of 6 seat, 7, 8 for cargo, 2 feet and 3 feet, engine type, gas, hybrid and electric, price. Right, you can just give this data, attribute level data.
Uh, will you paste the code?
I've pasted
Yeah,
this, right? I pasted
yeah,
this in chat.
earlier code also. I mean, use that.
Earlier also is done. Earlier also is done.
Oh, okay.
Predict.mnl. If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
I'll check it.
I'm just doing this again. If in case you're not able to find this out. Right, earlier code also I'm pasting. Okay, let me just come back to this, guys. So new data, I want it to, I'm putting it in a particular format here. Okay. Right, it is. Okay, just see here, guys. It has just generated some kind of data here. So one record here basically is 7-seater, 2 feet cargo, hybrid engine, and 30. Let's say the business team wants to find out was for this set of characteristic, what is the expected market share? I want to, let's say I'm hellbent. My competitors basically do not have this combination of features. So they have asked me to inspect if a car has 7-seater with 2 feet cargo, hybrid engine type, and 30,000 is its price, what is the expected market share? Is it better or is it lesser than, let's say, another combination? Let's say this is just nothing but record number 3. Randomly, it has just generated record number 8, record number 1, 3. Let's say, let's move on to the third one. There is another feature wherein there may be a car which has, let's say, 8-seater, 2 feet cargo, gas engine type, and 30, right? So like this, how many you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 different records are there. What is the market share for each of these things? Which combination, which car having certain characteristics commands the highest market share? That is what we are interested in. Now we have all the input variables ready. And if we have not made any mistake, that predict.mnl can be applied on this data set. Once we are able to apply the predict.mnl function on this, we will be able to create 2 new columns, which will give me the market share for a car having this set of features. So let us just go ahead and apply that predict.mnl based on the final model. I don't know whether it will work or not because we have made some modifications to predict.mnl, right? So let us just go ahead and experiment with predict.mnl. Control V, right? I'm just
Mithun, can I ask a question? Yeah,
yeah,
regarding
yeah,
line number
yes, yes,
84.
yes.
How did you calculate these 8, 1, 3, 41, 49, and 26?
I've not calculated. I'm just sort of randomly. It is just picking up a set of records. That's it. This is just the row number.
Okay, you are
It
giving
does.
just random record. Yeah.
Yes, this does not matter at all.
Okay.
Right? I'm just trying to show you what is the expected market share and such things. Whatever I did in the Word document few minutes, we can just use the predict.mnl to generate the market share. So you can see here for some of these records, right?
Yeah, here we can see the only
With
share
these features, it is saying
is
that
little.
if a vehicle,
Hello. Yeah, sorry, Mithun,
I'm
sorry to
not very
interrupt
clear
you.
with
I
what
think
you're saying.
no, no. I was mentioning that here, where do you refer the utility value?
No,
Hello.
utility value. See, let's just go back. So this is the predict.mnl. So this is the predict.mnl code, right?
Yeah.
Inside this code, what is this doing? Inside the code, if you just check the code, basically, we are basically calculating the utility and the share, but we are not displaying utility because
Yeah,
when I
that was
click
my
on this
question.
key byte,
That
yes,
that
only
was
the
my question. I
share
did
and the utility. Yes.
I did understand
So
about
you,
share because it's the exponential of the which utility you are calculating. That is, I got it.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
I was
utility is
just
the
asking.
intermediate step. Yes.
Yeah, I was just asking you that is there somewhere entity is displayed?
No, 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 no. We don't have to display it. If you want, if you're really interested, you can just put utility, comma, share, comma, data and check the rerun this code where you can get the expected utility as well. But from business point of view, will not use utility, right? Because utility is an intermediate step. It's a in-between step to which is used to calculate the share. If I get the market share, that is more than enough for me, right? And therefore, I am not displaying the utility scores here. Now, coming back to this, for each of these characteristics, you can see the expected market share. So expected market share seems to be the highest for a vehicle with 7 seats, 2 feet cargo, uh, hybrid engine type priced at 30,000. Makes sense also because the price is less. And if my memory serves me right, gas engine was the most preferred, but hybrid is also not doing that bad. It has come out well. 44% out of 100, 44%, almost 50%, right? Almost half of your customer base basically can be expected to buy this much. So you can just think of this even from a demand and supply mechanism as well. So if you're manufacturing vehicles, basically, mostly I have to pay attention to this set of characteristics because the demand for this will be higher. 44%, right? So if you're manufacturing, mostly focus on 7-seater, 2 feet cargo, hybrid engine, 30,000, price it at 30,000. That will command a market share of 44%. Next highest is basically a 6-seater gas engine type priced at $30,000. That will have a market share of 16%. So firstly, people can be expected to go with the first
Mithun,
set
I
of
think
attributes.
the last one is the second preferred. I think it's
Yeah, you're
point.
right. Sorry, I missed that. I missed that. Thanks for this. 18%, you're right. So 7-seater, 2 feet cargo, hybrid engine, and 35,000. So this is the second best. It is having the next biggest market share of 18%, right? The third one is basically what I was just reading out earlier, the second record with 7-seater, 2 feet cargo, gas engine type, and 30,000, which is almost 16%. So here itself, if you add 44 plus 16 is 60. 60 plus 18 is around 60, 88. So mostly 88% of your market share is driven uh, by vehicles with these set of features. That's what you can say. Lowest, if you see here, 0.2, barely 2%. Right, so you don't need to spend too much of time on this 7-seater, 3 feet cargo, and gas engine type priced at 40. So because the price is on the higher side, you can see here 40. So not many people, very niche audience might buy it 40. So you can see smaller numbers for when the price is high, 40 and 40, naturally it is pulling down your market share. That is the kind of impact that it is having. So this is how you can calculate the market share and such things, guys. Are you able to follow this, guys? Are you able to understand this? Are you able to follow this?
It's a bit
Yeah.
complex.
Yes.
Number of people responded, right?
Sorry,
Hello, Mithun. Yeah,
sorry.
Mithun, whatever the whatever the market share it is talking about, it is the total of the respondent, total of the respondents.
Yes. Out of so many respondents that you had, 3,000, whatever respondents that you had, 44% of them basically have more or less 44% based on their characteristics. If the characteristics, everything match, basically, you can expect 44 out of 100 individuals to go for this set of vehicles, a vehicle with these characteristics.
Yeah.
Let me just do a very high level of recap, guys. I think we have covered quite a bit today. Just a very high level of recap. The initial bit is fine, wherein we were sort of pulling the code and such things. Then we did a bit of EDA, choice versus price. This gave us some idea. If you look at line number 8, I've summarized this. Low price vehicles, 3 feet cargo, 6-seater vehicles, and gas engine. They are the ones who which are getting a positive response. Now, basically, it's a case of basically calling the mlogit function. Once you use the mlogit function, basically, uh, you once you use that mlogit function, next is basically running that mlogit function. This will generate the coefficients, right? From the coefficients itself, you can do a lot of things. That is, understand strong negative preference, strong positive preference, and basically neutral preference, or basically people who are indifferent. So, and interpreting the coefficients is the most important thing, guys. This itself is 60% of the work. Till here, are you clear, guys? Till here, interpreting the coefficients as such things. Is this part clear?
Yeah, till
Yeah,
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
still that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Line number 42 is basically, if you recall, I had built multiple models. One with intercept, next suppressing the intercept. Third model was by treating price as a factor variable. So out of this, which one is the best model for model comparison? For model comparison, just use a LR test. If the p-value is less than 0.05, it means that there is a significant difference. If the p-value is higher than 0.05, it means that there is no significant difference. So that is the first part. Then we went to willingness to pay. Will customers pay for a vehicle or not with certain characteristics? Just use this formula. If you're getting a positive value, it means that people are willing to pay more for it. If you're getting a negative value, it means that unless you give a discount by so much amount, people will not be sort of paying for it. Let me just quickly run this code. Cargo 3 feet in comparison to 2 feet. For a 3 feet cargo, right, people are willing to pay $2,750 more. So if a particular vehicle has 3 feet cargo, you can charge $2,750 more, which means, I'm just giving an example. Let us say uh, for a for a vehicle with cargo 2 feet, you are thinking of selling it at $100. For a 3 feet cargo, you can charge them 100 plus 2,750. Now let's look at seat 8. When I execute line number 50, or for seat 8, you are getting a negative value, which means that for a vehicle with 8-seater, unless you give a discount of $1,766, people will not buy it. That is what it means, right? Then certain additional things like interaction effect, right? If you can understand interaction effect, well and good, or else ignore it, not a problem. That's not very important, right? You can generate the interaction effect as well. Then the last bit was basically wherein I was talking about uh, multiplying the coefficients with the data set to generate the utility score, using that utility score to calculate the market share, for which you have the predict.mnl function to be used to generate the market share. Out of these many consumers, how many consumers will go for a vehicle with a particular set of attributes? That's what is the last part. The last part, if you're not able to follow, if you feel that it's a bit difficult, ignore it. But just try to at least understand what is the interpretation of the quotients of logistic regression model, willingness to pay metric, right? Those things, at least if you're able to understand, I think it is still good, guys. Till the stage wherein we did willingness to pay, if you are able to follow that, that is more than enough. Don't have to worry about rest of the things. If you are not able to follow that, don't worry too much about it. Any thoughts, guys? Any comments? Any thoughts? Any comments?
The last few sections need to go through once again.
Yeah, the last section wherein we are calculating market share, even if you're not able to follow it, leave it. But not to worry about the last section till the stage of willingness to pay. Till that part, at least, if you're able to sort of learn, understand, I think it's great. It's a great this thing progress. Bhavna, Vinish, Parashram,
But
there
it
are.
was
I think, yeah.
All right.
Mithun, I think you missed a new data code. Actually, new data code is not there. Something you define.
New data or new data.
Uh, it's there, I guess.
Where it is?
He has shared the function in the chat window.
Yeah, no, see, new data you missed, which you defined as a new data, new column, to in order to identify the uh, below
Just
the
some.
symbol data. Below the symbol data.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bhavna is saying something. I have to go through something she said. I have to go through the last part. I will get back to you if I have any doubts. Okay. Tejaswini?
no doubts, I'm clear.
Okay, fantastic. Bhavna?
No, Mithun, it's clear.
It's clear. Okay, Sarvan? Sarvan
It's
Kumar?
clear, Mithun. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Okay, Vinish?
It's clear, Mithun.
Okay, okay. Rabi? Rabi said the last part is a bit of a challenge, he said. Parashram? Last part is a challenge. Okay, Zarar?
Yeah, last part is become a bit challenging. It's okay, but
Maybe.
I can go
Don't
through
worry.
it.
Just, yeah, go through this
Yeah.
in this week. Maybe next week I'll just spend the first 1 hour or half an hour just recapping this. I think you'll have a good idea about it. Zarar?
Conceptually it is clear, but again have to go with the codes and
Yes, yes. No, no problem. Don't worry. Rome was not built in a day, right? In one day, you can't master this. Just in a fresh mind tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you just go through this, right? I
yeah,
think you should be able to understand this. If you don't understand, write those points so that I can just clarify this whenever we get time.
yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Vasudev?
Yeah, it's fine now. Have to go through it one more
Sure.
time. Yeah, I
Sure.
have a question, Mithun here. So this model, can we use it like we can mix and match the different type of product or services, or we have to relate a similar type of services?
You can do anything, whatever you want, provided you can create the questionnaire for that.
Hmm.
In the
Okay.
questionnaire, the features must be there. If you have that data, you can do what you want, you can do.
Okay. Okay. So what is the number of data points, minimum number of data points that we need to run this?
See, basically, if it's on the higher side, it's always better. Right? Don't work with, let's say 100 or 200, you don't work. In excess of 500, it's always good. Minimum 50 respondents is what he has suggested. Initially, when we went through the theory part, minimum 50 respondents data. If you have, it's good.
Minimum 50. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I personally like the way I mean, in this entire exercise of choice models, consumer preference models, there are so many small things which we covered, which are all very essential and central ideas to marketing, right? For example, how can you say that a particular feature will have a negative preference or a negative effect? Or how can you say that whether a particular feature, having a particular feature will have a positive effect? Look at the coefficients table, very simple, right?
Mm.
Second one is for a particular feature, will the customers pay or not? So one aspect of pricing model, one very small aspect of pricing model, willingness to pay metric, we are able to sort of compute with this, which is nothing but for that feature, whatever is the coefficient, take it in Excel, divide it by the coefficient of the price variable. If you divide it, whatever number you get, that is the willingness to pay. Right? So coefficients, I'm just going back to the first point. Uh, strong positive preference, strong negative preference, neutrality. People or customers are indifferent. That itself is very, very profound and sort of insightful. Second is basically your willingness to pay metric. How do you compare the models using a LR test? That you maybe you can give second priority. Don't worry too much about comparing different models and such things. Thirdly, interaction effect. What is the impact of different combinations of the independent variables that you can capture through interaction effect. What else is important? Market share and such things come later. You can give secondary priority to it. And I think that's about it, right? These 3 points, if you can just keep in mind, I think it'll be very good. Market share and such things, please ignore if you're finding it hard. There is nothing to get worried about market share. That's a marketing concept, basically. How do you estimate the market share? What is the satisfaction level? And how do you compute the satisfaction level and such things? Those are basically the marketing concepts, the theory and such things, correct? So even if you ignore those 2 concepts and if you can just focus on the first 3 things, coefficients, strong preference, weak preference, indifferent part, willingness to pay metric. And nextly, basically, to some extent, you can just focus also on the interaction effect and such things. I think you're good to go. You are good to go.
So Mithun, this is for the marketing analytics, right? Specialized.
Yes.
So last module we have seen the neural network. One of the use case we have done, right, where we can introduce some nodes or based upon the weightage.
Yes.
So this is for the choice
models, consumer preference model and such things. Consumer preference. Right, I've got 2 more sessions, 2 more Saturdays. Next Saturday, mostly I will be focusing on random forest as a model. Random forest as a model, that's one thing that I have. And I also want to focus on market basket analysis. These are the 2 things which I want to cover next Saturday. And on the last day, I'll be covering recommendation engine. So that is what I have in my agenda, guys. Okay, if there are no questions, shall we wind up for today?
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine. Yep.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks,
Sir.
Thank you, Mithun.
Thanks a lot,
Sir.
Kiya Tejaswini.
Thanks, Mithun.
Thanks a lot, yeah.
Mithun.
Thanks, Manish.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ravi. Thanks.
Hello.
And everyone.
Yes, Sai.
Sir, can you share me the Excel sheets and the script, sir? R script.
R script, you want an Excel sheet? Okay.
That Excel sheet you just did know, sir. Now.
Okay.
Share with me.
Okay.
Thank you,
Mithun, sir,
Mithun.
one second. So last session was neural network. So we are going to see market basket analysis and the random forecast. And this is the choice model, right? Today's.
Yes, consumer preference model, you can just say. Consumer preference model or choice model also.
Next, one more module you said?
Recommendation engine.
Okay, recommendation. Oh, that is the part of neural network.
Recommendation
Deep learning,
engine.
right? That is part of deep learning, right?
Yes. I also wanted to show autoencoders and such things, but in one day it will be too much for you. So I just cut short that.
Okay. I think this market basket and recommendation will be better compared to today's.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Mithun.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Bye.